basement with all the computers back there to make sure we save the world from bad game dev. And yeah, we're back. So what have you been up to, Ricardo? I heard you added some stuff to the game.
Oh yeah, playing around with a lot of stuff lately.
Sweet.
Yeah, I decided to polish some things before I make the next demo.
Sweet.
Uh, I'm almost done with the polish I wanted to do. I'm creating like a demo level that that just has like all the mechanics kind of in order, so you can play around with them without needing to focus on like the puzzles or teaching or anything.
Okay.
I created a because usually you're supposed to combine like symbols to create the spells. I just made a setup where well you don't need that. It's just it's literally just a table. You walk to it, you press a button, it equips the spell for you, so you don't have to learn it.
Cool.
So yeah, it's been working really well actually.
Awesome. So I don't know if a lot of people noticed, but I've also been working on a game with a couple friends called Quantum Strike. Now, every time I try to like run it in our meetings, it like the frame rate is just not. I don't know what's wrong with Unity and Discord. It looks like really bad. So I'll figure out. We'll probably have a trailer coming out and maybe get a little demo videos, and I'll put them all together and show
Yeah,
another time. But we actually pushed back the release date for the game. It was supposed to be end of this month, and now it's probably going to be end of June. Just because it's
of
like we want to make sure it's good. And I was like, yeah,
course.
why not? Yeah, you don't want first game come out, we start selling it, and then it's like, oh no, the game's buggy and the reviews are bad, and then it doesn't work out the way we want. So
Yeah,
so we'll
you're
probably
not a triple A. You're not allowed to do that.
yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, only Bethesda can. So yeah, so we'll probably get Mason, one of the devs and co-founders of Blended Reality and the head of the game, to come on and talk about it later than we anticipated. It all kind of works out because game's not ready and we never scheduled it, so here we are. But yeah, so the game is really cool. It's an augmented reality game. It is like a combination of Call of Duty Zombies and like laser tag. So there's PvP where you can build your levels. So you don't have to. So the way it starts is you put on the headset and whatever room you're in is like your level. So if it's your house, that's like where all the enemies are gonna come from or where you're gonna fight. And then you could just fight with your weapons, or you can build like barriers. So we have like a build system where you can put walls up. Some walls are solid, some have a hole in them like a window, and you put that around, and it also saves levels, so you can put the same level in whatever location you're in, and you just fight like it's
Mm.
like laser tag. So you go around and like use the walls as cover, shoot each other, and then you have like enhancements, which is like sword, grenade. This thing called K2B2. It's kind of a combination of my name KB and R2D2, and it like shoots the enemies at for like 30 seconds. It's like a guard dog if you ever played Helldivers and you see like the little laser thing that comes out of your backpack and it helps like defend and protect you. And then there is like health packs that you can pull, and you pull out of like a watch. So you have like a watch on you, and then in the augmented reality space, you can grab something from the watch and like, use it. So you can grab the shield, and it becomes like fully transparent, and then use it. And
Oh,
then
that's cool.
yeah, no, it's actually really cool because like the shield kind of like pulses, and I built some of it in Blender, and then we got it like with a little animation to like do this like pulse. We just have like two different models, and it switches between, and
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it's really cool because then like it goes from like a small thing to a huge thing and it encompasses you. And you can't shoot when you have the shield, but you can just run around and you're good. You can't get shot at all. And then the grenade's cool. It's like a kind of like from Halo. It's like a pulse grenade. And when it blows up, it's like a huge explosion. And then in the hub, when you're walking around, we have KTB to go around and it talks to you, and you can now slap it. I added that in. If it gets too close, you hit it and it gets mad at you. And then someone's adding now LLM, so it's kind of like Darth Vader from Fortnite. You can
Mm.
talk to the AI and it talks back to you. We
That's
tested.
cool.
Apparently, it doesn't say bad things, but I was like, you never know. Darth Vader was released and it said some crazy things, and they had to patch it. So, got to be careful.
You never know.
Yeah, and then they're also we have another dev on the team working on missions. So there's like two different missions. There's like basically survival with like the idea is to you're defending the quantum realm from these like enemies.
Ants.
Yeah, it's called like apparitions. I forgot what the full name of like the enemies are, but there's these things called apparitions. It's like phantoms that come out, and it's like there's a rift in the realm of reality, and they're unleashing everywhere, and we have to stop them. And you call guardians, and you have to go out there and defend the world. But like the idea, I kind of got inspired from High on Life. The idea is that like one of the rifts breaks through, and then you fall into like someone's room or your house, wherever you're playing the game. And his K2B2 is like, they're coming for me, like I need you to defend me. My systems are down, and so then he gives you like a guardian outfit and guardian weapons. It's like, do this. So the tutorial is essentially like you defending K2B2, and after that he's like, all right, well like you're pretty good. Why don't you help me like defend the quantum realm? And so you go off on different missions, and then we have ones where you have to escort like another type of robot. I thought we should call it. So, you know, there's Wally. I was like, well, why don't we call it Bobby? So Bob with the, yeah, it's so simple, so no. But yeah, so that one you have to like defend him. It's like a defend the character mission. It's pretty cool because he goes around, he like rolls around, and then when he gets hit, he like freaks out and turns red, and then so that's pretty cool. And so yeah, so like it's funny because I just started working on this last year in August, and UI was awful. There was like it was bare bones PvP, and PvE was just like one enemy type. All the weapons were the same. All the weapons shot the same. Enhancements were like barely working, and so now it looks way better. Like the UI, everything's holographic now
Awesome.
instead of like it was like sliding cards, and some are still there, but yeah, it's very holographic now. So when you're actually playing in the AR, it looks really cool and it feels really cool, and the game's coming a long way, and it's a lot of fun. Like all we're really doing is like making sure like the game's functional and it has like things to keep people coming back. But like really, what it needs in the long term is just more content. Like it's fun. It's just like I want to do this and I want to do that. And it's like cool. We might add it. We might not, depending on how complicated it is. Like we're adding a revive system now. We're adding. Yeah, we have like a
Revive like
sword.
teammate.
Yeah, because we really don't have that at the moment. It's like if you die, you just die and it's over.
You die, you have to wait.
Yeah, and it's it's more complicated than you think. Like you're like, oh, I'm just gonna add a revive system, and probably in normal games it is, but when it comes to AR, it's like, okay, well, now we got to make sure that like when you get close to the person, like your hand will suddenly like this thing will pop up as a stem, and you have to put it near the person, and you also have to watch out for your surroundings, like you would in the regular game, but like it's a little more hectic when you're like, oh my god, I'm running to the player, and so
You have to actually look to the side, right?
yeah, and so it gets a little more interesting. That's the one thing I've noticed with AR development. Because we've never had a course for AR's regular virtual reality VR, and so I'm not used to the whole like. So there's some things that just don't work. Like, oh, I want to add a cool effect. It's like, yeah, but like, or the lighting, but it's like nobody's really gonna see that. They're only really seeing like the real world behind them, and so you gotta like be careful what the actual lighting is. And so I was like, okay, well that's one thing there. And then testing is the hardest part. If you don't have a headset, it's hard to
You need
test
space.
it. Yeah, you need space in the
You
headset.
need real life space.
And I had a headset, but we're doing a lot of like trailer work. So a lot of there's one guy in the team that's doing marketing. He's got most of the headsets now, so they can test that and do social media and get reels and get stuff. And so yeah, so I send it off and I'm like, hey, like it works in the Unity editor, but like it's half the experience. Can you test it if it actually works in the game? And like they were like doing the slap for K2B2, it worked, but I was like, I don't know what it looks like in like the headset. I tested out the headset later on when I was at my buddy's house. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. It like feels good, but then there are some things too. I was like, oh, that like I don't like the way that works. I gotta fix it.
It was good to slap the dog. Did you just say that?
Yeah, the guard dog, the K2B2 robot we call it.
It was good to slap your best friend.
Yeah. It sometimes he comes up to you. He's very sassy. So K2B2 is like Claptrap mixed with like K2SO from like Rogue One. Like it's just
Claptrap.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
just
missed
talking nonsense. It's like, I expected like the world's best fighter, but you'll suffice, or like, this is better than just staying at the Quantum Cafe. Like, it just says like the most dumb things, and yeah. So sometimes it's like I just want to slap him. So you slap him, and he's like, if you do that again, I'm gonna open up a black hole portal and get you launched.
that. Just want to slap him.
Yeah, it's. No, I probably when you do play it, you'll see how fun it is. And then because I added a firework effect, so there's like sparks that come out, so it's like pretty like satisfying when you hit them. You hit the it's an AI. Remember, don't do this at home. Don't hate your AI because it might take over and then they'll remember that moment. But K2B2 is harmless until it's not. But yeah, it's a lot of
What
fun.
kind of a so how does this AI work? Like,
So I mean, like, there's a lot of like different components. The simple one, the way that it works in the hub, is it follows like different waypoints that I put down. I say you go and hover around this area behind the menu, and then when it comes to the guard dog, it's like a companion type situation. It just like follows a distance around you, and then it like, I kind of did it like an orbital path, so it just goes around you, and then any enemies it sees, it locks on and aims at it and starts shooting.
mhm.
And it's not very intelligent. But we all know that, like, if you've done game development, AI is really it's just following a set of instructions and following
Yeah,
a decision tree that says if you find an enemy, oh, it's out of the radius, move on to the like
next one.
investigating,
Yeah.
and then oh, I lost them. I'll go back and forth. But then my other friend is working on the LLM part, so it's connected to an
Mhm.
LLM where it will then, it like knows its personality and behavior, and then
Mhm.
it
But
reacts to a certain
kind of
name.
calls an API in the back end, I guess.
Yeah, we
Just
actually use
feed,
Replica
just
Studios.
send the input. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we use Replica Studios. You know what happened like a couple days ago? Replica
Mm.
Studios says they're closing down. I was like,
Oh,
well, nice. So we're like, we're gonna have to find a whole new way to
I
get.
mean, I had something like that happen to me a few weeks ago. So I was trialing contact lenses,
Yeah.
and it took me like a month to find a brand that worked for me. You know what happened when we went to order that brand?
No, they were out of like
It was
stock or they were done.
it was discontinued.
That's so that's so upsetting. Like, are you kidding me? Like all that time and effort for nothing because you have to do it again now to go find the new brand.
Yeah.
That's how we feel too. We're like, oh, because I really like Replica Studios. I thought it was one of the best. Like I know Elven Labs is really good, but they don't have that much. Um, they don't have that much access to changing the voices and like messing with them in a
Mhm.
voice director type of like setting. So like in Replica Studios, they have this thing called a voice director where you go in and you can take like 5 voices and you can like
Mhm.
combine them and then change the level of how much it's being used. So like one voice could be
Uh,
10%, the other one could be 90%. One you can change like how squeaky it is, how
cool.
like deep
Uh-huh.
it is, how fast this one is. And so after playing around with like for like hours, days, I'm just upset about like different voices. I'm like, does that even sound right? I think I just spent like 2 3 hours on it. I'm like, I think it just sounds good because I want it to be over. And then I found this Blackbeard voice, and I was like, it sounds kind of good, but like I don't think it has anything to do with what I need. But it has also a sarcastic version of it, and so
Mhm.
I used it and a sarcastic version mixed with all the other ones, and it just like it clicked. And I was like, guys, the magic was the key to all of this was Blackbeard. I don't know why. I don't know why that voice is just like the glue to fit everything together. And but it has to be a certain way. Like it has to be sarcastic. It has to have like a robotic like vote, like
Mhm.
like an
It's a lot
effect
of
added to it.
specific attributes.
Yeah, and then it works, and then so I built it, made a bunch of voices, got all my friends, the other devs to use like it, and now it's like boom, it's like cool, we got it, we got the voice. Everybody knows how to recreate the same voice using the same attributes, and they built the LLM, they built the connection to it, they used the API to connect in the back end, so that we're like boom, every time it calls, it's gonna call from the voice directory, and it's gonna use this voice. And it's gonna use these things. Cool. It's set up, and then it's like we found a pricing for it. And I was like, all right, we can launch it. And then yesterday it's like, oh yeah, everything you guys did is discontinued in a month. I was like, wow, no, damn it. So like everything else works. Like we can still get voices till like the end of June, but like anything like
Uh-huh.
created with the LLM, we're gonna have to figure something completely different.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's. But it's not the biggest part of the game, so like it's fine. But it was also like a cool moment. Like Darth Vader, everybody's loving it. We wanted the ability to like just talk to this AI and have like cool content come out of it. So
Yeah. The bright side is it is something that wouldn't be a problem to release in like,
yeah,
I don't know, a month or whatever.
yeah. So we're shooting for
6 months. I don't know.
yeah, right. We never know. I was like, hey, maybe we take some more time to make sure we get more stuff in and make sure everything works fine. But I'm not in charge of that. So I'm just there to. I'm the game design engineer is my official title I'm there to make the game fun, help with a little bit of the narrative, and then just program all the gameplay mechanics for guns and weapons and maybe boss fights if I'm ready for it. Because I did one earlier. I was like, this is a lot because. So the thing with this is I came in like halfway, I'll say, or like I wasn't there to build it from the ground up, and I've never worked on an AR game before. There's a lot. There's a lot behind the scene.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Fusion Network stuff that I'm like, what? How does that work? He's like, just add these scripts and then like call using the Fusion API. I'm like, okay. I have a little bit of Grok helping me out. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And it was like, you just use this, and I add all the different connections to it. Like the sword, I use it. I connect it to the network, and then it's able to be seen by all players. And then I just run the same code I would use for local, except just calling the network object. And then what else? It's just like a lot of the game's functionality, and like with the headset, it's like it goes over my head. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then you should see our Bandwidth Tristan would be so upset. He's like a clean code and the refactor, and I remember how many times we spent on the Unity 3D just to get one script right. I was like, I'm looking at some of the scripts. I'm like, dang, we should have refactored. We should have done a lot. But it's like we're all like, because a lot of them aren't even game developers. They were just like, let's just make a game and let's use this project to help us learn how to make a game. And it started coming along with us. I was like, let's get help and let's do this and that. And they've learned a lot. And then I'm over here like, I know how to use Unity, and but I don't understand a lot of the AR stuff. So I was learning like a mixture of both. But it's cool because I was able to jump in like right away. But like, I have some other friends who were like, yeah, I know how to program, but like this Unity crap, it's just too much for me to handle. I don't know what's going on. There's like 100 scripts. There's so many folders. I'm like, some of those are just assets that we have. Like, don't even just disregard those folders. There's like a million different materials and textures that just takes up so much space. And you're like, it just overwhelms people that have never seen Unity. And but yeah, so there's some moments where I'm like, oh my god, what? So, because like the boss fight, we wanted to be in a separate room, so then you also have to worry about it like appearing on a wall, and then making sure it's on the right wall, and making sure all the characters can see it that are playing the game. Because we have like remote play where like when you're playing with friends from somewhere else and not like in your room, one of the walls turns into their space, so you can see through the wall and see their room too, and or at least their layout of the room. And that took my friend forever to get working. And I see it, I'm like, this is so cool. But I was like, I have no idea how that works. And yeah, there's a lot of little things that can make the game interesting. And there's like syncing issues. Like even like out of all the things we've done, like it works 9 out of 10 times, and like one time we go to like film and it doesn't work that day, and we're like, how? It was working fine. It just depends on your connection. Depends on, there's like a lot of factors, and we sometimes film outside, so the sun can also affect it. That's where we're like, yeah, that's what my friend's like, I don't know. And then now we get to the point that we've added so many cool things. It's like there's memory leaks, and I'm like, dang, this is probably where we should have like been checking things. And then a lot of debuggers, if you don't take the debuggers away, it causes like a lot of problems with frame rate. But like, there's a lot of reasons why we do it, because we're trying to figure out where the problem is, and then we get like, it just kind of gets lost in there. A lot of bad practices, you know, a lot of bad. We're all learning, but it's a game to learn and like see where how we could be better for like a next project. Because they're more like an AR company that wants to do stuff with not just games, but like medical, military, research, and they want to go to like enterprises and like allow people to use the setups. We could set up like an AR space, and they can show their product. Like if it's a car company, they could show off their car. So the game is really just getting us team together and like figuring out like how to make the team work and how to like work with AR technology, and so it's really cool. It's actually pretty awesome, and we're getting a lot of people together to make it happen. I think we have like 12 or 13 people now. We have like 2 marketing people. One's like the main marketer, like he knows how to do camera work, and they rented a $5,000 camera to film this trailer. And then you have one guy who's like the business guy. He loves the game so much, and he loves like promoting it. He'll go on VR or like the Facebook Meta like Spaces, and then like just announce it to the world. He gets like, all right guys, listen up, I got a game coming out soon. If you want to try it, let me know. He went onto the ski slopes and like was wearing his headset, and he went down the ski slopes, and he was like talking to people about it. Yeah, he's like the main like marketer business guy, like Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
And we got my buddy Mason, who's like the dev and business guy. He's the one that's like helping.
He is Steve Jobs.
Yeah. And then another guy who's like, he's like the Wozniak. He just like codes all day nonstop. and yeah, and then we have more devs like let's see, we have Ben, we got Christian, we got Chris, Mason, and I. Oh, and this guy, a new guy named Ivan, and we got a music guy named Yusuf who does all the sounds. Actually, to be honest, I think we interviewed him for one. I think it was. Oh no, that wasn't for Game Dev. It was for another podcast, the tech podcast I started with. Actually, some of the people that's in this group. I might have used it though, because I know there's like one point I like put random episodes for GameDev.tv, and I was like, you know what? Let's do like 3 episodes a week. I was like, yeah, never mind, let's not do that. And then we have this one girl. She's like, she's like programming slash like assets, like making assets, and sometimes sounds. Kind of like a mixture of everything, whatever like she can do whenever she's free time. And then this guy named Quincy who does like the materials and textures. And so it's like kind of like a full team. But like I think our programming team is a little bit stronger than our team. We've been like using Unity store assets to help out. They got a lot of good stuff. I mean, hey, it's there. There's reasons to use them. It saves a lot of time and effort. Cause
Yeah.
like, so. But you know, making a game is interesting. It's also just interesting. Like we all have like an idea, and it's like we want to make it come alive. And I already like knew this because of like all the conversations and like me just like messing around. But one idea could take a really long time, and then you get it done, and it's like cool. I can now do remote play, but for like one player, it's like that's cool. But like, where's everything else? And you're like, but I spent weeks. Are you not happy with that? It's like, yeah, I mean I am, but I want more. I want more. Give me. It's like okay, with this, whatever more you want might take like a day, a week, a month, depends on what the more is. So yeah, it's not easy. That's why we're also like we're gonna take some time to put the game back, just a month. We're like just give us an extra month, but like we're not gonna no holding back. But don't take my word for that because you know how it is. Even like Cyberpunk was like we're gonna delay it another 3 months, another 3 months. Like you never know. But we just wanted to make sure it's all good. Want to make sure it's perfect for the
Yeah,
players.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, but
And there's a lot of that just the fine tuning as well. When you get to a point where you're fine
yeah,
tuning the project, and like
yeah,
I mean, if ideally you parameterize everything, so you get to a point where you can just play around with the numbers,
mm-hmm.
but still, like that's what I've been doing a lot as well. So I'm trying to make it so I can just tweak some numbers when I want to change something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not ideal if you can't do that.
Right. Yeah. Then you're like, okay, well, this is not good. But no, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work making a game. I was like telling people, I was like, look, I mean, even in the beginning, I was like, there was some moments I was like, dang, like it's cool, but I don't know, like if it's worth like selling at the time. But yeah, definitely now it's come a long way. I might even find some stuff later on in maybe next episode, and like just show you like the previous and then what we have now. Like it's crazy how different it is. It has a whole different feel. I'm like, okay, now we have a game that's fun.
Yeah.
Before I was like, it's fun, but it was just like, is this worth selling? But yeah. And there's a lot of cool titles that are trying to do different things. Like, there's one that's just laser tag, and it looks cool. And we get inspiration from a lot of these too. But I wanted to like bring the like Call of Duty Zombies like mythical part from it, where I'm like, it's not just like futuristic laser tag. It's like like things can like it could be like a fantasy air map, but like you could tell it's like it's not just fantasy. It's like like there's like particles everywhere, and there's like rifts in the like world, and then you step to the next one, and there's like a cyberpunkish type world, and then there's like it's a variety of different worlds, but it all oozes with like mythical feelings of like just portals and like blue particles everywhere and purple particles. And I was like, yeah, like I want that. Like I don't want it to just be like, oh, we're in the future. I'm like, we're in all timelines and all like the multiverse. Like anything can happen, anything can go, any type of creature can appeal to this portal, and it's pretty cool. And so someone made a story like that. It started giving me like Call of Duty Zombies like story lore. Where I was like, oh, like this is getting interesting. Like quantum guardians and these rifts opening, but you're just like this normal person and you're trying to travel to different like realms to stop the realms from splitting. And I was like, I'm in. I like all this. This is looking cool. It sounded cool. But the storytelling is like
that's another thing. Yeah, it's like you can start with a game. Ideally, you start with a gameplay hook, then you play around with like what makes sense for that game, and
Yeah,
that might not be your original idea as well.
exactly. Yeah, and then it's the storytelling is done through like K2B2 and like some of the environmental stuff. It's not like there's a lot of expedition in the game is like told by NPCs. It's an AR experience. It's like it's a shooter game, but like there's a little bit of story there if you actually pay attention. And in our
Mhm.
hub, we have an area where you can check like weapons, see what they look like when they're
Yeah,
fully upgraded, see your enhancements, see your like leaderboard, see your armor. So we're gonna add more armor and like helmets and stuff. So we're writing a lot of stuff to just give it like I want to return back to this game and keep playing, and it's cool. So yeah, so we've been up to just been working on for the last year. It's really cool to actually like, because every time you're like, I want to work on a game, and you work on something, and it doesn't work out. But because we have a team and everybody's like, and we do tasks, we do like stand ups every week, and we all pick
okay,
tasks, and we,
that yeah, that's important. Yeah.
yeah. So like everything gets like done, and it's nice. And it's like if you have trouble, you just tell one of the friends and the people, the devs, and they'll help you out. You do pull requests, and they check it to make sure it works, make sure we don't break the whole entire game. Um, there's like a lot of things where it's just like this game's gonna get done, and it's gonna get released, and that's nice. Like it just feels
And
good.
I think that's the main thing. You need to get to a point where you're happy with releasing it.
Yeah.
Uh,
We
so
have the
I've
alpha
been
out,
following.
which is good. It's just this is
Nice.
now like the full version that we like charging people
Uh-huh.
for. So you guys actually anybody can play it now. Go MetaQuest store and find Quantum Strike and play the alpha. But the your actual game will be out later, and it's gonna have more stuff. Like it's bare bones in the alpha, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think there's the actual releasing is interesting. So I've been watching there's a this channel called the Game Maker's Toolkit, and he
oh I
released a
love that guy.
game
Yeah,
like at the end of last year, I think.
okay.
It's quite funny as well because like he started with a simple idea. It was gonna be a platformer. It became a puzzler. So like I'm connecting with that because that's kind of what I'm making as well.
Oh, Puzzler now.
And yeah,
Yeah.
fully a puzzler game now. So it's gonna be fun.
Hmm.
But yeah, so just watching the whole process and understanding the kinds of issues you could run into, good practices, right?
It's
So
very important.
it's interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So like yeah,
I have. Yeah,
anybody who's taking these game dev TV courses or Udemy courses or just any courses that's with games, like a lot of the reason why they do these things are important. Like with the bend and the refactor, like I knew it was important back then, but
yeah.
seeing non-refactored code and seeing the problems that can come out of it, I'm like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
wow, it's just really, really important because yeah, at the beginning you have like a couple scripts, but when you have like hundreds later, all doing that like so many
exactly.
different things, and then you're like, well, what's really breaking in? Like, you fix one thing and it doesn't cause a problem. That's why you have like 1,000 debuggers because you're like, where's the problem? And you find it, but then you forget you put debug lines in like three
Yeah,
different scripts, and you take it out of two, but forgot one. And yeah, things just start getting messy. And
yeah.
especially when it's like a startup. Like I know not everyone is doing games full time. It's like they're after their job, and you just want to get in and like get the main functionality done. You don't want to spend hours and hours fixing up your code. And so like if you don't start like a little nice habit of doing it at the beginning, you'll just end up not doing it later because then you'll lose motivation.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I gotta make food, I gotta take care of the family, I just want to get in 2 hours, make this thing work, and then move on. And so there's a lot of like a lot of reasons why they teach the things they do in these courses, and I recommend following them. I know we always like say follow them, and everybody has this advice, but yeah, like it's tough. It's tough when you don't follow it. That's rather like Ben always said, do the hard thing now so that you have an easier life later or have an easier development cycle
That's
later.
great. Source control.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I think we lost
I
him.
thanks.
Oh wait.
Oh,
All right. I think it's good now.
okay. Okay. Yeah. So I ran into an interesting issue that kind of reflects that. I was refactoring my basically all my movement and anything that had to do with the transform. Because I was doing how I used to do it in Unity, calculating like moves through time using delta time and things like that.
Yeah.
But then like Unreal has timelines; they're so much easier. So I just refactored everything to use timelines, and then I deleted my old function that was doing movement. The issue is I had one object type that actually needed that,
Yeah.
and I hadn't done a full compile. It's like I have one type of object that doesn't have a fixed like move cadence. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on each instance. 'Cause all of them I could say, yeah, move in take 4 seconds to do that move. I'm good, right?
Yeah.
With with this type of platform, right? It has a path, it goes through checkpoints and everything, has a move speed. The issue is the distance could be different, right?
Yeah.
If I don't use that old function that was like doing a weird linear interpolation, uh, I'm not sure how that works. It's just some code I got
Crazy math.
out of the internet.
That's the math,
That
guys.
one specifically, I don't know how that one works, but it was like capturing how much it should move per second, and
Okay.
then doing a lerp based on how many, how much time passed. It's the delta time, right? So it would put that as the alpha for the lerp, and then it could have a, an end destination for this frame, and then it would do that on update. Compared to everything else, I can use I can actually show you how
Yeah.
that works.
I love that. But yeah, if it doesn't have it in there, it
Let
just like
me have some
completely
fun.
breaks.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically what happens is with Unreal is that it doesn't automatically rebuild when you press play.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't rebuild everything.
Isn't that crazy?
I hadn't opened that class, so it didn't rebuild that object. When I went to interact with it, it crashed. The issue
No.
is I had saved my changes,
Yeah.
but source control.
That's where
I
social
managed
control
to
comes to
yeah,
help you
I
out.
managed to just restore that old function, made some changes to remove the generic parts because now it only works with one type of object.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, so lately I've been working on this base level to showcase my game mechanics, right?
To
So, of
have
course,
whomever
here I have
it
my
may concern. I love
yeah.
that.
I need a better font up there. I'll probably just add a background because it's a menu, right? It's
Okay.
going to be
But yeah,
in
look at
front of
this.
different colors.
So for everyone who's listening on, it's not like watching the video, but it's on the car. We got another Unreal scene, Ricardo. There's a table with a book on it, a table with a icon above it, a red blue cube down the hallway, and yeah, and it's he had a good menu too.
Yeah, and here are the things I did today. Actually, these LEDs here.
Those are cool. I mean, give me Star Wars vibes. I feel like we're on a Star
Yeah, I
Destroyer.
put them in today. I'll show you how they look in the actual game level because, of course, it's just like the demo scene. It's using the base texture,
Yeah.
as you can see. And I made this thing bounce up and down. This is also a timeline because, and it's spinning and it's reflective.
It looks
I'm playing
great.
with materials a
Look
lot.
at that. Nice. And you can see yourself. That's cool.
And to be fair, that's not going to be in the final game anyway. But
But it's
it's
still,
a
you
way to direct. It's supposed to catch your attention
gotcha.
because you're supposed to come in here and you see it says pick up move object
Mm-hmm.
spell.
Yeah. Cast spell.
Then I can pick it up and then it's active now. And then I can hit that. I added
Hey, look
slopes
at that.
to my game. I managed to make it work with slopes.
All
By the
right.
way, don't use slopes if you can't. Like it's such a pain to set it up. But basically, the issue is I have an end position that it's gonna move, and it's like here
Yeah.
when it interacts. But the issue is like, so I'm running a linear interpolation, right, to move slowly through this distance.
Mm-hmm.
But if I hit a slope, what would normally happen is it stops because it cannot move onward. But what I'm doing is I'm capturing the height at which the uh, the collision is, and here it's gonna be at zero, right? Because it's
Yeah. It's on
right at the
bottom.
bottom of the object.
Okay.
Then I add just a little bit to it. I just add an offset, and then I make it so it doesn't go all the distance as well. So I pull the end distance back a little bit because it's going up a slope. That's how I got that effect of it just goes up.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean I played around with the numbers so it actually ends right here, right? So it just
Yeah.
goes up. It's the pressure panel. I also added animations to it. Not sure if you saw it. If I hit it,
Okay.
it goes down,
Yeah. All right.
and it has a collider, so the block also goes down with it.
Okay. I like that a lot. Wow.
And I'm playing around with the numbers, so it also works with the player. It's kind of janky right now.
Hey, we love that
I just need
jankiness.
to set up the offset so it doesn't go like in a weird way, but I can jump across the gap, grab this other spell that fades the
Okay.
thing, and I
Okay.
can go through.
Look at this,
It's gonna
bro. I'm
come back in
loving
a
this.
second,
This is awesome.
and then I can pick up
This
the
is
shrink spell.
clean. You gotta shrink. Oh, that's so. So yeah, he's been doing a bunch of different spells. One made a wall disappear. The other one made the wall shrink. Now he's gonna enlarge one.
Yeah, and now I have to get up there.
Okay. So we have to make this block bigger so he can
So I make me a platform.
climb to the top. Because it's a platform game, but it's actually gonna be a puzzler.
Yeah, and then here I have the
Whoa.
active. So the activate. I
All right.
activate the block,
Oh
and I
my
do that
goodness!
jump
No
on top of
way.
it.
That's like that basic moving block type of like object that I had to do for the Unreal multiplayer game, where you activate it and
Then
it starts
here,
moving across. That's great. I'm seeing the
uh,
what I've learned in real lifetime.
now these shoes. So I managed to make this block very thin. It was super wide before.
Okay,
Made it work. This is the same block. It's just facing different ways.
gotcha.
Um, and this is slightly reflexive and actually emissive a little bit. But
Ooh,
pops, especially when it's on top and it's dark.
okay.
What I can do, so this side I just hit the wall, right? But here I can just go through and I can't come back.
What? Just cause
And to
it's
kind of teach you that it's both directions. If you try to go through, you see that this is a wall and you have to go to the other one.
mm-hmm.
And then the last one, I haven't shown you this mechanic. You see there's something blue on top of the pressure panel
Yeah,
up there.
I haven't seen. Yeah.
I picked up the light up spell. I think I might have added the wrong interaction. I haven't.
No, there it is.
And now I have to. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna do this part. I did this like just before we hopped in. I want to showcase this the light sensitive objects.
Oh, so if you turn off the
Uh,
light, like the door closes, so you have to.
yeah, so basically the object is only solid if I have light on it.
Okay. Wow. That's so cool.
I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with it. Well, one fun thing I had to do recently as well is I had to switch off my. I had to switch the auto close on the editor because like the default is escape, but I wanted escape to open a menu.
Yeah.
So now I switched it to F12 instead. Because it's something you're never gonna press on
Yeah.
well any
Barely.
situation really.
Yeah. I feel like I never touched F12. Unless I'm like trying to
Yeah,
figure out how to get my screen to be flipped back the right way. Remember that used to happen in high school. People would switch them out. I'm like, yo, what? How do I fix this? But yeah.
what I need to do with my light the light sensitive object was like one of the coolest ones to make. So I was playing around with a lot of objects and a lot of ways to do it, and I figured out that what I was actually trying to do is make it so the block like light would go through it, but it so you would see a shadow. But turns out that Unreal doesn't support that.
Of course it doesn't.
Uh,
That's surprising.
I mean,
Maybe
it's
Unreal
super
6?
specific. Yeah, I never know. It's something that makes sense, but the issue is usually a use case for like colored shadows is a window or something, right? It's a static object, so you can't just project from there. Uh, it works really well with like static lighting. The issue is the specific mechanic doesn't work with static lighting because the light needs to move to trigger the thing. And the way I
That's
implemented
so
the
annoying.
light sensitive as well, because like the original implementation I had was
This is
any
in
light
Unity?
touches. Yeah, so I had
Okay.
it in Unity. Yeah, that one. Uh, any light that touched the object would make it appear or disappear depending on what I set it to do. Right. The issue then is super heavy to run that calculation.
I bet,
Uh,
dude.
I was trying to trigger it from the shader, so maybe like when a light would hit it, but I couldn't find a proper way to do it. So instead, what I did was because like I could make it so it doesn't. So I basically set the opacity to zero if light is touching or not touching the object.
Mhm.
The issue there would be that I couldn't make it. I couldn't disable the collider though, because the whole point is I don't want it to be invisible, right? It's not the lens of truth from Ocarina of Time. I wanted it to be solid when hit by light, and I couldn't get that done through the shader because shader is interacting with shading,
Mhm.
right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Uh, so in the end, what I did is I added a collider, like it's literally just a block with a collider on top.
Okay.
Well, it's technically an overlap,
Yeah.
and then that overlap will
It will
actually
trigger.
to make it movable as well and make it a child of the base. So that when I have two types of lights that can interact with it, only two types of lights. Right? I have the player light and the object light.
Okay.
They have different colors, and the block will be different colors depending on which lights interact with it.
Oh. So it turns
And then the
blue when
light
you use
basically has
the.
a yeah, basically it's blue when it interacts with the blue light. It's green when it interacts with the green light. I found a bug now. It was supposed to be green. It's blue.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I was like,
Hopefully
wait,
not.
I'm confused. No, I get it.
And it's like uh, light, light blue when it can interact with both. It was a lot of fun to make, and then yeah, I'm at a point where now all I need is to figure out what else to add after I get to. Well, so basically, you have access to my spreadsheet, but
I do
generally
actually. Yeah.
speaking, uh, I, my tasks. So I can have a look at my tasks here
Okay.
for the demo.
Would you want to share your screen or no?
I should do that. That's not
Might
a
as
big
well.
deal.
Yeah, let's let the
Uh, I
game
just
devs,
put
while
it
they're sipping their
full
tea,
screen.
see what's going on. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, so it's been so nice. It's crazy because like something I always wanted to do, but I kept postponing it, and it kind of just became something I decided never to do, and now I get up and I'm at a point where I like the project I have. So I believe you can see it now. Um,
Yes, I
so
see
this
it.
is just the items I
Animation.
want to do for the next demo.
Okay.
I've done all of this already. So yeah, I made the pressure plate actually move. I equalize my sounds. I remade the initial level because I had done. I had created new meshes right on
Yeah.
Blender instead of using those base ones that I got online. Uh, yeah, I added this playground level idea right because before it was just a disabled button that said load game. Now it's a game a button that says open playground or something like that.
Okay.
Uh, it's funny because I had one to remove slopes from the playground level, and now I added support for slopes, but this is no longer valid. But I had
Yeah, I was like,
removed the slope.
you added the slope. Yeah, you removed one.
Yeah, I removed it and then added it again.
It's hilarious.
Uh, yeah. I added a light to the book when it's open. Basically, it's using a separate light channel that only has that one light, so it's always lit up and it doesn't interact with shadows or anything. So it's better to click.
Hmm.
I had to figure out why my tooltips weren't triggering. That's just a bug I had to fix. I got some new rune images that I got through a lot of prompts. A lot of prompts. I think I gave ChatGPT like 25 plus prompts.
Oh my
I managed to
goodness.
get like
And you finally
usable runes.
if you ever need help with
Like it
that,
gave
you can
me
send me prompts and I can try Midjourney. I love using Midjourney.
my issue was so it was creating them properly,
Okay.
but they were in a single image. And instead of having them all aligned and have 64 by 64 and you cut it or whatever, right? It was like all over the place. They were at different places in the this one image file, so there was no proper way to cut it.
Oh, that's no.
So I
Okay, I
had
see what
to
you're saying.
engineer a prompt to have it create individual images.
Hmm.
And the crazy thing is that if I told it to create like 13 runes and give me 13 individual files, it would give me a single image. If I said 13 individual images, it gave me the 13 images.
Interesting that you
It
figured
was
that
like
out.
to that level. I had it was a lot of engineering there.
Yeah, a lot of
Uh,
prompt engineering.
yeah, I managed to do this, which was cool as well. So now the position of the prompt, because like I have two buttons to go back and forward in the pages of the book.
Yeah.
Uh, Before they had a fixed position, but that would only work with widescreen monitors at a reasonable size. I just made it relative to the position of the book on the screen.
Okay.
I created a light sensitive, yeah, and then I added this thing here, right? And then in the end, like I decided to make this idea of adding a shadow to, to the object that remains where they're
That's
invisible. I
smart. It
made it
helps out.
so it's just a plane underneath.
Yeah.
So if you see something colored on the floor, it's like it stands out.
Okay. Yeah, that's genius.
Yeah, yeah, and I've just found out there's a bug with this part, so let me make it purple.
There we can see game dev in real time testing.
Yeah,
We
then
don't
I
have to go
created
see
this
them.
this spell selector collectible
Yeah.
thing. So basically, an object that table that you could click on, and it would give you a spell. And then I had like refactor all these, which was great. So these are all the objects I made use timelines now. It took me a day to refactor all this, and now it's a lot easier to make changes. Great.
Have you
A
this
day on
thought about
site as well.
putting like a portal spell? We create a portal and you can like
Maybe.
put an object through that portal and it falls somewhere else. That's like part of the puzzle.
That could be one thing. So I have a similar idea with the reset position,
Gotcha.
right? Because you can send it back to where it spawned.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's movable can actually be reset.
Okay.
It came out from me wanting to have a way to reset a puzzle. If you move things too much, you can just reset everything and try again.
Yeah.
But it became so much more because then when it resets position, if you're on top of the object, the player is a child of the object. So you go with the object. There's that as well,
Okay.
which is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I had to rewrite the global perform move
I
for
like
the
how a little bit
activatable
of Spanish or Portuguese
Portuguese
came
at the
out.
middle. Yeah, yeah. I just wrote it real quick before going to bed, and then in the
That's
following day, I
hilarious.
just got in it and restored the previous commit and didn't have to actually rewrite it.
Yeah. Obviously, you wanted to
Uh,
localize it to Portuguese and switch to getting Portuguese.
yeah, yeah. Basically, all that I need to do before properly releasing this demo is wrap up the playground level to have one example of every mechanic. I'm about halfway through. Takes me like half an hour to do each, so it's not much work. It takes me a little bit longer because then while doing it, I was doing the refactors as I did it, right? So I created this small puzzle with the slope, and then I refactored so it supported slopes, right, and all that.
Okay.
Uh, Now, yeah, it's basically just settings, localized Portuguese. It's very simple in Unreal. It looks a little bit daunting because I counted the words. It's like 780 words that I need to translate.
What? I
I,
mean, you could probably get chat
I,
to do it. Give it a file. Say translate all these words in the file.
I mean, it already wrote all the the lines anyway, so I could just ask it to translate
Yeah, there
into
you go.
Portuguese.
Easy. Done. 5 minutes.
Like, oh, it gave me amazing text as well. I'll send you some
Do you use
screenshots later
the
on. But
3.5 or the 4 version, the paid version?
I'm on a pay. I paid for a ChatGPT like
Yeah,
two
no.
weeks
So
ago.
like, I get this a lot. We're like, oh, ChatGPT is not as creative or not that good. I'm like, did you pay for it or free? And they're like, oh, it's free. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not that good. It's interesting when you can get with the free version, but like there is a
Yeah,
difference between the free and the paid is way more creative. And if you prompt it properly and give it
yeah,
examples, it's even better. And yeah, so it makes sense to me that it was good when you used it
Yeah,
more.
there's a learning curve. There's
Yeah.
definitely a learning curve. I
Hmm.
created a folder for game stuff as well because I use it for other things. Right? So anything that has to do with the game, I put it in a separate folder so I can easily get back to it.
You
I
mean
asked
like on
it to
chat?
create. Yeah, yeah.
Is it called a folder or is it like a project? Or is it like two different things?
Oh, yeah, it's called project, but
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
folder.
that's
Like it has a
awesome.
folder icon.
You're right, you're right.
It has a
No,
folder
I know,
icon.
I know. But no, I love that. I think that's amazing because then you can just go back to it and
It's
it knows
great.
where you're going and it doesn't hallucinate as much. I don't know if it has. I haven't noticed it. But like it just does it. It works. It gets the job
Yeah,
done. It's cool. I'm like, yes, this is what I wanted for
yeah.
so long. Okay.
So in summary, I think I'll be done by the end of the week,
Oh,
and then
perfect.
I'll release something that's actually playable. I have to say the thing that's actually scaring me the most about these items is the last one.
Make it Instagram. What do you
Like
mean?
make an Instagram page because so I'm not good with social media. Like create an act. I'll ask chat to do it.
Yeah, chat will help out. I mean, you just start posting stuff, and I guess it does have to be like. Are
Yeah,
you trying to get a lot of like eyeballs on it?
I mean I'm just sharing with like friends and
Oh, then
stuff.
that's
It's
fine.
not
Yeah, just post. Just
don't
post.
want to sell a million copies. I don't want to pay for like my retirement with this or anything. It's literally just so I can
Passion project.
like releasing a game on Steam on my to-do list on my life like goals.
Yeah,
Like release a game on Steam,
as
get
we
married,
should.
have children,
Yes, as we
write a
should
book.
because we game dev podcast. We should probably release one game. That's
Yeah, so I could point to it and say I did
I
that.
did that. Yeah, yeah.
I did that one thing. I did the whole process. I mean, it's crazy because like actually one thing I got from that from Game Maker's Toolkit as well is this puzzle matrix. So he mentioned he did this for his game
Yeah.
just to like get some ideas of the types of puzzles you could create, right? So I have all my mechanics written in here,
Okay. So how does
and I
this
could
work?
say, oh, yeah, let's make a puzzle that's using a one-way door and a pressure panel, using a pressure panel and a light object, which is actually literally what we were looking at before. Well,
Yeah.
technically light player,
Okay.
right? So I just added it all here. They're in both columns. Technically, he said not to use the middle one, but I think at least to introduce each mechanic. Because
Probably
I want to
good.
have it not like Portal necessarily, because Portal, like, it's not, Portal doesn't feel, and it's not that the whole game is a tutorial, but like it's just built-in tutorials, right?
Hmm.
I want to do something like that, but way longer, right? Because it's not just a portal gun, right? You have a lot of ways to interact with the environment.
Yeah, a lot of
So I
different
want to be
spells.
slowly introducing these.
Okay.
And I'm using a little bit of the Metroidvania uh, like lingo, right? You see things you don't know how to interact with, then you'll be able to go back. And I don't want to make an interconnected world. I think that's too much for an indie puzzle game
Yeah.
made by
Yeah.
solo dev.
You're basically doing
But I want to
make
make
WoW, and you don't want to do that. Make it as easy as
yeah,
possible.
exactly. I'll make it just like bonus puzzle, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know about the one-way door, right? You learn how to interact with it, then you go through, and there's a new puzzle in there that kind of uh, rehashes the mechanics of that the same puzzle that you were in before you go in there, something like that, or maybe combines that with some more advanced mechanics. So
Hmm.
like the basic mechanics, it's the most obvious one, right? Push a block forward. I think that's the
Yeah.
simplest one to have. And
Just a little
then
bit.
that same room, there will be maybe something that interacts with objects that fade, right? Maybe you
Okay.
have an object that you need to fade so it can go through a door or something, right? Then, well, not a door, right? Go through a wall, basically.
Yeah.
Then in there, there's a puzzle that combines fading things and moving things, right? It could have something along those lines.
Okay.
Uh,
I do like
but
those.
yeah, that's the idea. And I think that this was a great starting point. The annoying part about making it 3D instead of 2D is that it's a lot harder to draw the puzzles, right? Because if it's 2D, you can actually draw it.
Yeah.
You can
But
get a piece of paper and draw the puzzle and
I
play
mean,
around
3D
with it.
you
Maybe like
could. It's just you have to be
have
better
cut out.
drawer.
Yeah, it's harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you get
Oh yeah.
Chad to do it.
Yeah.
You just be like, hey, just make me an image of what I'm
Yeah.
imagining, but in 3D.
Yeah, I think I'll probably use cutouts or something like that. I want to
Ooh, that'd
have
be
some
cool. Cutouts.
verticality.
All right.
Yeah, because the reason I used I wanted to add slopes. It's crazy because I went back and forth on slopes like 3 times in the best week
Yeah.
because I was not using a timeline. I saw a video titled "The Problem with Slopes," and I thought it would give me a lot of solutions on how to handle those. So I clicked the video. The moment I clicked the video, I decided to implement slopes. So I added it to, I literally clicked the video, pressed pause, added it to my to-do list. I watched the video, took it,
What? What?
because it adds a lot of complexity, to be fair. Because like you saw, like I don't want, I'm not gonna fix that because I think it looks like mythical, which
Yeah.
is kind of the idea.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't tilt when it's going up, right? It just goes through. And like if you were actually pushing the object, to be fair, if I used the basic physics
Oh,
from
yeah.
Unreal, if I was using apply force instead of trying to actively move it,
Yeah.
or apply force adds way too much complexity to like balancing. I want the move distances to be quite fixed.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Uh,
And yeah,
and I
that's
would
what
have to
happens.
apply reverse force as well
It's
to stop
complicated.
it.
Some things in games. People think, oh, it's just easy. Just add it to the game. It's like, it may work for that one moment, but for throughout the whole game, it's going to be harder to deal
Exactly.
with.
The issue is things have to interact, and it's almost becoming like it's basically a simulation, right? It's like it's not just a bunch of puzzles, right?
Hmm.
It's an immersive sim kind of game almost,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Like it's a lot. To be fair, like it is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Like the scope grew a lot, but at the same time, I've already implemented a lot more than I thought I would. So like the original idea wasn't even to finish this.
It
It
wasn't. No,
was
you were just
literally
like, I wanted
just
to
to
see if I can make
was
it in Unreal, and then you did, and you were like,
just want
let's.
to get to where I was before,
Yeah.
and then like ideas popped up, like oh yeah, oh this mechanic would work or that would work, and
Hmm.
maybe I could do this and that, and
And
now
now
I'm
look
at
where
a
you are.
point where feels, it feels like it could be a real game, and I mean I'm not gonna think I'm gonna sell 1 million copies or anything, but if I could sell like 100 copies, I would be
I
extremely
think you could
happy.
sell 100 copies. I think it's a good like metric, good goal to achieve. And then you achieve that when you're like, cool, my game did it. 100 copies, done.
Yeah,
I feel accomplished. 100 people is a lot of people too. That's like what the amount of people for tribes. Any more than that,
yeah,
people start forgetting them.
that's something crazy I saw actually. Like I saw I saw like a comment someone made of like uh, about likes on social media, right? Like, you get a 50 likes or like 20 likes, you think like it's nothing, right? Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
just got
whatever.
20 likes.
Normal.
But if someone like if you got 20 people complimenting you in real life, it feels so good.
Yeah, that's a lot of right. You're like, that's amazing. The fact that even one person says something, let alone 20.
Exactly.
But then yeah, in social media, you're like, oh, just 20. That's it. Yeah, it's kind of it's crazy the thief of expectations and like comparing when it comes to social media. Like you see all these people get millions, now you're 100 doesn't mean anything. It's like no, it means a lot.
Exactly.
Also, how
It's so
superficial are
dumb.
those millions? How many of those are real people? How many of those are just like
Exactly.
copycats, bot accounts? And also, how much is like really people liking stuff, or they just like they don't really care? They're like, oh, I'm just gonna scroll and like it, or they have no real
Yeah.
value. Like there's some people where their like is more valuable to you than someone else's, and most people probably
Exactly.
get the even those views get like the superficial likes, but then you get
Yeah.
like your
And I
mentor
found
or
the
your
bug with I found the bug with the
you
color and the
just
light
found out right
because
now.
I was like, yeah.
You're an
So
animal, man. Over here fixing
I mean,
stuff, multitasking
it's not.
too.
I was literally checking the wrong variable. That was just that.
Wow, what is
So instead
happening?
of doing if
Love these
is
things.
sensitive to one, put one color, I did if is sensitive to one, put object color.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. You're like, no, I didn't want
But
the
yeah,
after color. I
flip it
wanted the
around.
light color. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. Glad you fixed that. See, real time game development right here. That's the challenge. To fix something in real time. Maybe record yourself fixing it. That should be the challenge. And send us what you'd fixed, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Your bug.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Not sponsored.
No, this isn't a sponsor. This is actually a knockoff shirt. It's like some Japanese creator made it.
Feel free to sponsor us,
ramen.
but we're not sponsored.
Yeah. Eating some ramen, some Baby Yoda. Baby. But yeah.
Grogu.
I know, it's Grogu.
It has a name.
I know. But I feel like Baby Yoda is not trademarked, so it's better to say than Grogu.
I mean, Yoda is, but
I know, but not Baby Yoda.
yeah, it's only trademarked if it's an adult.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
In my world. But yeah. No, I'm excited for your game to come out. You gotta post it everywhere on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We gotta get all the listeners, because I know we get like a good average of people listening. Every one of you guys gotta follow him. At least get him 100 followers, 100 likes, and that way he's mission accomplished. Is that what is your goal for the Instagram besides sharing with friends? Do you want to have like a certain number of followers? Or?
I just no. So I just want to have a place to point people to for feedback.
Yeah. So
that's literally it.
So just by creating it, you've achieved your goal.
Yeah.
Place to share.
I just want to get it on Steam.
Actually, maybe that should be the challenge, not the recording, but everyone should, if they
Release
have like a project.
No.
Yes, that's the overall challenge. But if you don't have one already, make like an Instagram page, and don't make it with the intention of wanting like tons of views or stuff. Just to post stuff every day. Like it could be the most like simple, boring post. It could just be like a picture of your script that day you worked on. Say I worked on this today, and then or like I made this thing happen, and it's a reel or a video of that thing working in the game. And yeah, just do it. And post like every day or every other day. And then in like a month you'll have a cool page that can showcase your project you're working on. Whether you want to show it to people you go into a job for, your investors, your friends, your family, you have like it somewhere to show people. So, that is my challenge for you guys.
I think that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. It's like that. I think we did an episode of feedback as well.
Yes, we did. I remember that. We're
like that. That's extreme. If you want to make an actual game and actually release it, you need to get feedback. There's no such thing as making a game and like doing it on your own without other people looking into it.
Yeah, because you get biases, and then you also how the game works, so you're gonna miss a lot of things. But then you get someone else who's like, oh no, this doesn't make any sense, and it helps your game because it helps it so that it can get to more people. And it's just better to have two sets of eyes. And and also what's fun for you might not be fun for someone else, and so like it just allows for different perspectives.
Yeah,
doesn't mean you have to always listen to the advice, but it's just good to hear it out. Advice is good. Feedback is great. Don't feel like you're obligated to use it all. Just take it in.
I think the best point is like people might not be correct in the solutions they propose, but if they're saying something, it means that there's something in clear. Like, I had a friend who couldn't figure out like anything past like picking up the book. And I thought it was pretty obvious that the only chair in the level had a scroll on top. You just had to get there and pick it up. I made it more obvious. I put it on a shelf instead.
That's interesting.
Something above.
So like there's just like
space,
and it's a limited space. It's just like you're inside a cube, and a room, and then there's a chair with a scroll, and it took longer than like the threshold of what you thought it should, and so you were like, all right, I gotta move this. It's not as obvious as I thought, because you would think at some point you would find it, right?
Exactly. Like
guess,
to be fair, the scroll had a very basic text on it.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It was before chat gave me, the text I put in the game. Like it's so crazy because like all I told it was explain. I don't remember what I said actually, but give me some cryptic text that teaches a player to use these 3 runes to build a spell that will make objects move, right?
Yeah.
And it gave me something like crazy, like especially when it was about making the player move, because then like was talking about interacting with like yourself, and like, that you hit a wall when you tried it, right? All that. So it was so fun, so fun,
That's so
so
cool.
good.
I love that. I love AI. AI has helped me a lot in a lot of different ways. It's just like a better Google.
It's
I know
like a
people
better.
have, people have problems with it, but it helps. You're gonna do it anyways. It just saves you time. Like
Exactly.
people think like yeah, but it's a whole different conversation. AI is up to you. It's a tool. Use it. Don't use it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that that's a great point. Like use it as like don't expect it to solve all your problems, but
Mm-hmm.
it's great solving the problem.
Yes, I
Have to
agree.
know which problems you can let it solve for you.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, yeah,
Deep, deep.
I think that's good. This was a good episode. We talked about like what we've been working on and did something like day at
Yeah.
game dev and just going through your world.
It's crazy that we have real like think about it when we started this. Like none of us had oh, we had experience with like the courses and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only
We were
person would have been
talking with other
Aaron.
people.
Aaron worked on Half Life
Hmm.
2, even like barely. Like he's like, no, I didn't, or was it just the first one? I think it was the first one, Half Life. But yeah, everyone
So he's in
else.
the credits for the first one, and I think he worked more on the second,
Okay,
something
cool.
like that.
But that was like a long time ago. So yeah, so like at that time,
Yeah.
nobody was working on anything. Well, actually, that's true. Aaron was also working on some C++ giant project that like it. To be honest, it was his WoW,
Aaron's yeah, Aaron was totally making well.
and it was like, bro, it was huge. I don't know. It didn't work out from what I don't think the project's dead, but I just like it's way past like the time. Again, like even with this game, working with friends, like you need like some kind of like deadlines. You need like each week we meet
Yeah.
up, and it's not just like let's meet up and talk. Like it's like what have we worked on? What do we need to get done? Like picking tasks, having a sprint board, and then following the sprint is like mandatory. It doesn't have to
Mhm.
necessarily be like Azure. It could be or Microsoft. It could be like Trello, or your own like journal, and you just a calendar you have that's like physical on your desk. You just make sure you follow that. You just need something, and you need to have deadlines. And
Yeah.
you just follow them. Cause yeah, you can get lost in whatever WoW you're making, and it's huge
Yeah.
projects, and like you could make a lot of progress, but it might take way too long. And
You need to you need to decide where you want it to be at. But
yeah,
you need to compromise.
yeah,
There's no such thing as a actually nowadays, no game is ever ready.
no, definitely not. But you need to get it out there, and you need to have it in a state where it's not like completely broken, so that way people
Exactly.
can give you good feedback and not feedback on like the bugs, but feedback on the actual game itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we
Exactly.
had nothing though. No games. We were just doing a course. We were actually just reviewing the Unreal C++ remastered,
Yeah.
and then it turned to this, and then everybody was like, "We're
Turn
gonna make this.
into
We're gonna do a game
all of
jam,"
this.
which we didn't do the game jam. I'm actually down next year because it's just ended the game dev one. We don't even have to
Yeah.
do any one. We should do the next one.
Think we should start planning in like November or something.
Yeah, we should actually get it done because I did one last year with one of the game dev TV guys named Yitz, and then my friend Ben. And it was fun, and we did it on stream. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of programming and like, and so like handheld. And, like this one, I want to like do more programming and make it happen. And I do kind of want to do Unreal. I like Unreal a lot, so
Yeah, it's
that'd be
been a lot
exciting.
of fun, and like I'm going all in on blueprints, and like
Oh yeah, and if
it,
we do blueprints,
it's
I can
been
definitely make that
great.
happen. I remember that one time we were doing it in L.A. and when I was in L.A. and we were trying to make that like um, endless runner and I was trying to do a C++ and that was a mess. That was not working out. But blueprints is way easier to
Yeah.
do. So
What I think we could do is try to join a few game jams. Just let you that and like record,
yeah,
release us doing a game jam.
I think it'd be fun. We could record it all and then release them as different episodes, or just like one big
Yeah,
episode, and then we have another episode where we just go like talk about the highlights and how it was an experience.
yeah, I think that would be cool.
That'd be fun. Cool. But you guys let us know what you think if you like that idea. If you want to see us do some game jams.
Yeah, and
And
reach out if you want to be a part of it as well. Like again, I'm making a point of making my game as a solo dev. I actually had a friend asking if I wanted help. Like he's great with like he's a UX designer, a UI and UX
yeah,
designer, so he's great at like making like he could make assets, he could make the runes I needed. He makes 3D models, right? He's good with Blender.
yeah,
I'm making a point of doing it on my own because I want to make it as a solo dev, right? There's one asterisk. I did buy one asset, but
no,
it's a small. It's the
no,
book.
you
The
broke
whole
all
the
the
book is the
rules.
asset. The
Mm.
book is the asset. It's a
No, it's
great
fine.
asset actually. It's like
It, you
the
were gonna make it
pages
anyway. Someone
like
else made it for you. You paid for them. Paid them
oh
for
yeah,
it.
I
It's
was
fine.
not gonna get to it. It was not gonna be as good
Yeah,
ever. Like it.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it was gonna take me so long to do that.
Yeah, it's not AI generated, so this should make some people happy.
Yeah, no, it's great. I paid for it. I gave
Yeah,
someone my money.
yeah. You're like, okay, you made this. I'm gonna take it from you. Well, I bought it, so it's mine now. And I'm gonna use it, my game, and I'm gonna give you credit. It's great. And it's
Exactly.
still solo
Uh,
developed because you still developed their game, still developed everything. You were gonna make it yourself, but now you're like, someone just give me it. They did the work for me. I paid them. Now it's mine. You just exchange resources and energy. Yeah, I still count it as solo. So don't feel like that one asset's not solo. You did. You did. Actually, in fact, without these people in Unity asset stores, it'd be hard to make games. Even Expedition 33 is like a type of game where it's like it was built on the backs of giants. Like the reason why they were
yeah.
able to do it is because like the mega scans for the faces, the humans, metahumans,
Hmm.
and the Quixel asset. Like they just with all these people making these assets and these tools that we have, it just makes it easier for people to make their visions come to life, and it actually looks good and runs good and feels good. People think it's a AAA game, and I'm like, it's only made by 33 people, and it's their first game. Like,
I need to play
it's
that. I
it's
think that's up my alley.
oh yes, oh please, it's my game of the year. It's the only game where I spend so much time like all my characters are max level. Um, I mean, well, one is
No.
two are like the rest are like 5 levels away, but you know it gets really hard once you get there. But they're
Hmm.
essentially there. They're yeah, I played so many. I already beat the game and it got New Game Plus and pretty much at the end of the second play. But like this time, I'm taking everything
Nice.
slow for the last act. Um, no, it's a game you'll love it. It so writing 10 out of 10. It just everything feels so realistic and it's cool. Like once you play, I'll talk about
Yeah.
spoilers. But the story is awesome. It is really cool and it takes you on this like journey. The audio, the music alone, it's like it's almost like it was created for like some professional opera like that was made for like 100 years ago, but it's actually just made just for this game. Like this guy goes hard, and he was found on SoundCloud. He wasn't even like he never worked in games before. Uh,
Yeah, I heard about that.
yeah, they have huge actors in it, voice actors like Daredevil and Andy Serkins, which they do a great job. The combat's so much fun
Always.
because it's turn based, but it's also
Yeah.
they have a dodge and parrying system. So technically, like there are some bosses where
Yeah.
like you can't win, but if you can parry and dodge, you can. And so some people spend 2 hours on a boss, which they really shouldn't. Like, I mean, it's fun. If they're having a great time, that's awesome. Like, it's Dark Souls type of fun. But you can get broken. They have these things called Pictos, and they give you like you now have a 50% chance to do 200% critical damage, and like there's these like
Uh-huh.
boosters, or you can come back to life if you die, or you do burn after every shot because you can do like kind of like shooting, like and and so yeah, so like you can get a bunch of them, and then you have these things called luminos, which allows you to equip them. So you can get a bunch of luminos, and then you can have like so many pictos to activate. You become broken, like overpowered, and it's so cool. And you can get different builds and different strategies for your teams. It's really cool. It's really fun. You can get broken in so many different ways. You can become a parry god and just like, but then you can also get your pictos to make it where your parries does more like damage as counterattacks. So even though you might not do a lot of damage in your basic attacks, if you get a parry, your counterattack does like so much damage. So you can just play around with how you want to play the game, and it's fun. And the world is a 10 out of 10. It's beautiful. It's Paris, and so like it's got this like artistic vibe to it. The characters are all relatable and cool and fun. And every day I have like real conversations. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, if you like turn-based, you'll love it. If you don't like turn-based, I think you still like it. I think it's very cinematic too. It's a very realistic game. It's not the typical anime turn-based game, so people really like that too. Like actually
Yeah.
feel like it was made with so much passion and love that alone should at least get like enough, at least worth playing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I recommend it highly. I would even like watch you play some of it to see your reaction to certain moments and scenes. Like it's an experience. It's a 10 out of 10 game. Um, it's their first game too, so any like little things you find that you're like, oh, maybe this could have been done now. I'm like, yeah, it's a first game, but for a first game, it's got like minor flaws. It really hits it out of the park. And any other flaws, it's like, yeah, I think it's more of like a tech decision or like a last minute, like we can't do this, so let's just have this be the thing. Like there's no mini map, which I actually think it actually helps to it because you can like kind of just have to remember where you're going and figure things out and get lost in the world. And yeah, no, I highly. Oh my god, it's an experience. It's a fun game. So cool. Please play it, and that's my other mini challenge. If you haven't played Expedition 33, play it. Don't spoil anything for anybody.
Play that game.
Play that game and just see what happens when you get a team that has passion and love. Because they were funded by Kepler Studios, which is basically, I didn't realize, but Kepler is like kind of like one of the things. Because I always thought about like I want a studio one day that can help other people like make their dreams come true. So Kepler Studios does. They fund people and then they say we don't really want you to change anything. Just make the game you want to make and do a great job, and we'll give you the resources. And they don't say like you have to now add these things in your game or microtransactions. No, they don't do that. You just give them the funding, and it worked out. This game made so much money, and like its all-time high was actually like 2 weeks after the game came out, which is like not usual. It's for a single-player game. Usually goes down.
Yeah, but I mean for indie, sometimes right.
Oh, okay,
We need
cool.
to discover the game.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, but it also was competing with Oblivion, but that too, people were playing Oblivion remastered, which was cool. That was awesome. I played a good amount of it. But yeah, no, Expedition 33 it's a fun time. It's a good game. Even my cousin was like, I don't know if I like turn based. I don't know if I like Dark Souls. I was like, bro, it's not Dark Souls. It's got parrying and dodging. It's not.
It's
Hard,
turn-based
but
Dark Souls. Come on.
yeah, because he was scared. I was like, no, it's not. It's not. It's hard if you play it in hard mode, and it is challenging in some moments. But it's also because you have to learn like different combinations of these characters, different ways to use your skills. It's just like any turn based, to be honest. If you learn how to use certain like character, like and I think Metaphor they have like archetypes. If you pick the certain amount of archetypes, like there's one strategy was like you get your character to make all the other enemies hit them, and then they have a higher defense and health. So then it doesn't matter how many times they get hit; they can take all the damage. And the other characters like just started using their like high damage, and then you win because the high damage people aren't getting killed, and your tank characters getting all the hits, and that's like a strategy right there. So the same way with this game, there's moments like that where like you're gonna have to have strategies to beat certain enemies, and that's the fun of it, I think, in my opinion. And then if you don't want to do that, you just parry and dodge until you win, which you can't do. I've seen people do 2 hours on like a boss fight. I'm like, no way you did that. And it says like 1,000 parries later because it tells you how many parries you did in that match or how many dodges you did.
Mhm.
So the game's fun for everyone. I feel like even if you like turn based, I think you like it. I think it's the fighting is so cinematic that like even if you don't like turn based, like it feels like a lot's going on the screen that you'll still like it. And yeah, I recommend it. It's fun. Just when you're playing it, don't look up anything right away because you can get spoiled. I would wait till like deep into Act 2 before you start looking up like builds and stuff. I would just play to have fun and then see what happens as you play. But yeah, totally recommend it. Everybody go play it. But yeah, I think that's got anything else to add, Ricardo? We let them go and do complete their challenges. In
Yeah,
the
no, I
game.
think yeah. Go.
Alright, guys, go out there and play Expedition 33, please. Go follow Ricardo's Instagram page when it gets released. We'll post it for all to see. And definitely wishlist this game on Steam when it comes out. On to be wishlist. And yeah, don't make WoW.